Okay, so we are live once again, and today we are learning to do what we call as right to success. That's right, you have the right to success, but you're really going to literally right to success today with, as usual, as you know, one of the best graphology trainers in the world, one of the best penmanship influencers in the world. You've met him earlier if you've been to my YouTube channel before, and as you know, that is our beloved Imran sir. So we're going to invite him once again today. But before he comes, is everyone here ready to write to success? Everyone type in R for ready in the chat window, because if you're not typing ready in the chat window, I'm not going to invite Imran sir and he's not going to show you how to write to success. So are you ready? Give me some excitement in the chat window and let's quickly welcome Imran sir. Imran sir, please come on the video, and the rest of you on the chat window quickly type in welcome and thank you to Imran sir one more time for giving us his valuable time again to show us how we can write to success. Over to Imran. How are you doing? Thank you for coming again on our YouTube channel live.
Hello, Mitesh, and all the viewers there. Thank you so much for showing up again. Super excited to share with you yet another way how you can write your way to success.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that, Imran sir. And the best part is, since the time I've been with you, there are some magical results that have been happening with me, with Indu, especially with Indu, because she's practicing this writing every day in the morning. And that is why I'm so excited, because there are results not just happening in the community, but results happening at home over here. My nephew Ved, he's also learning with you. He's in the US right now, but he's learning from there as well. And he's getting amazing results. In fact, he's in the professional level of graphology with you. So before we start, I want to once again, just for clarity of those people who probably might be attending this session for the first time, explain that when we learn about law of attraction, because that's what people come to us for generally on this YouTube channel, when we talk about law of attraction, we talk about frequency, right? How can you scientifically once again explain to us that how does writing change our frequency and change our results, and why?
The simple statement to start with is your handwriting is not your handwriting. The reason why we call it as handwriting is because majority of the population on the planet Earth uses hand as a medium to write. But
That's
what
right.
it is the mind writing. It is the mind, it is the brain which is actually writing onto the paper using hand as a medium of writing. I'm sure you might have come across people who write with their mouth, toes, and I have personally trained a student who got electrocuted, lost both his hands, and it took him some time to train his toes to write. And he was in 8th standard when the accident happened. In 10th standard, he was able to write his exams and clear it with 65%. So what it shows is, I have personally worked with veterans, especially from the war, accident, they lost their power hand, they started training the other part of the hand, and it is still working. So it's actually the brain writing. So when you write onto the paper, it is your impulses of the brain which brings the information onto the paper. A trained graphologist like me or anybody who's my student, they can identify those lines onto the paper which you think are letters, but for us it's a stroke, nothing but the lines. It's a combination of strokes, and that gives us tons of information about you, because your brain is a powerhouse. Everything starts from there. So that's how it is actually the brain writing. Yeah, it's the handwriting there.
Amazing. Everyone type in BW, which means the brain is writing. Our hand is not writing. We think our hand is writing, but actually it is the brain that is writing for us all the time, which means what I understood from you, Imran, I remember, if your brain is writing and if I change what I'm writing on the notepad, I can actually change my brain. Is my understanding correct on that?
Yes, that's what we're looking at, because it's all about the focus of writing and basically the vibration. We call this as neural pathways. So the neural pathways are basically its impulses, because that's how your brain communicates with the rest of your body. If there is a mosquito bite, you exactly know where the bite is. You know exactly where the discomfort is, because that's how your brain is communicating with you.
That's right. Perfect. So that means if we change our handwriting, we can actually change the way we feel, the way we think, the way what we believe, and how we take action in life. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, please.
Wow. So all of you type in FTBA can change. FTBA. What can change? Your FTBA, your feelings, thoughts, beliefs, and actions can change if you change what you're writing on the notepad. So Imran, if you could tell us one big story about why did you start this graphology thing in your life? Because I mean, you could have done so many other professions. I know you were also in the acting industry. So I know you were a model. How many of you did not know that? Type in DNK. I'm revealing a secret to you. He anyways looks like an actor, right? He looks handsome. So you were in the acting industry. You could have become an actor. Why graphology? Like, why handwriting?
Okay, I normally don't share this story, but I tell you the main reason why I chose to be what I am today and why I'm so passionate about this science is because when I started, I was pretty early in my age, when I started. And I was basically excited about the type of attention I used to get by analyzing people's handwriting. So I used to have people know the wow moment, the aha moment, and I used to enjoy that attention.
Wow.
But one incident actually changed everything around me, especially when about the sciences, where I accidentally ended up saving somebody's life by using the power of handwriting.
Wow.
So I actually analyzed somebody's handwriting just to show off that how good I am and what can I do with handwriting. But in turn, I actually ended up inspiring that person from stopping her from taking action towards ending her life, because I made her realize the potential what she has, the type of work she can do, and the natural strength she has, and she could resonate that conversation with the parents of her saying the same very words. And she said, there's a message about it. There's a, calling for me. And she actually, I did not realize all this when I was analyzing her handwriting. I got to know after she made a call to me after a few days of getting her handwriting analyzed. And that one phone call changed everything about how I look at handwriting. So that's why I reached out. And that's how I am very, very clear about it. There's so many people in our life who need our help, but not really come and knock the door of your home. So it's important that you make yourself available. And I invite each one of you to learn this science and become that warrior, become the savior who's going to impart and make people realize the potential they're made up of. And because I also firmly believe, the power to change your life is inside of you. And if you can make people realize that, nothing like that.
Amazing. So you said you literally analyzed her writing, a lady, and based on what she realized, based on your analysis, she decided to not commit suicide and she saved herself.
Yes.
Wow, this is amazing. And what you realized from there was that instead of using handwriting simply to what you said earlier to get attention, now you started realizing that you can actually use handwriting to help and serve people and save lives and maybe even help them improve their life.
Yes.
Wow, that is awesome. How many of you would love to learn this science where you would like to serve people and to help them improve their life? Type in serve in the chat window if you're ready to actually start serving people now. Everyone type in serve, because when you write down the word serve, it has its own vibrations. That spelling, that letter, every single alphabet has its own frequency. So type in the word serve. Let's start this YouTube interview today with that beautiful feeling of serving. So Imran, if you could also share with us, I've always heard people say, but Imran, there must be something so special about you because of which you were able to save that person's life. And I remember whenever we speak privately, you always tell me, Mitesh, it's not like I'm special. Handwriting is in itself is so special that it can save anybody's life. So can you maybe share one example of your student who was able to create a similar or maybe a bigger miracle like this with handwriting for somebody else or maybe for themselves?
See, the power is basically, it's a science. It's as simple as hydrogen and oxygen and few elements of the both coming together and creates water. And if it can happen in India, in Bangalore, it can happen in UK, it can happen in London, anywhere. And you don't need to be. It's not the person who's bringing those elements together. It's about the element by itself is powerful. So similarly, when we have people coming to us, we make them realize their entire, what their hidden potential is. And when students come, the beautiful part, Mitesh, is when people come into my community, they come for themselves. Like they're looking at changing themselves, improvising their frequency, setting bigger standards and goals for themselves. But in the process, what they realize is that they are made for bigger things. They take on adding and reaching out to people and giving them the beautiful pathway towards what could be their real calling. And I have tons of reports like this and tons of testimonials like this where my students went on. Like today, just I completed a session where my student came and said, Imran, what are you speaking? I'm actually converting that in Telugu and making this impact passed on to the people. Like every morning we write graphotherapy together. That person has taken on. And he talked about a gentleman who is about 70-year-old who was experiencing a lot of anxiety and anxious, in his life. And he had a lot of health challenges. 15 days of writing graphotherapy. The gentleman comes and says, where were you all these days of my life? I was suffering from unexplained pains. I go to doctors. Doctors tell me everything is fine, but I know I'm suffering from the pain. But when I started writing graphotherapy, thank you for being so consistent. He wrote it for 15 days and he already started getting results. And he said, I'm spiritually pretty high and mentally very stable right now. And my body is also in alignment. Imagine a 75-year-old person acknowledging my student, it's a blessing for me. And this is the power of this science. It works. It really, really works.
Amazing. This is crazy. Everyone type in crazy if you agree. This is crazy. Like a 70-year-old person says, I know this pain in my body, but I can't explain it to the doctor, and the doctor's not able to find anything. But he does graphology for 15 days. He does practices of handwriting for 15 days, and all the pain is gone. I mean, this is amazing. Imagine if you could be able to create this kind of magic. But I'm not satisfied yet. So, how about let's do it this way? We'll do something different today if you're okay with that, Imran. All of you on YouTube channel, tell me right now if you would be okay if we can hear at least one or two stories of each area of life, like health, relationships, career, and money, because we want balanced success. We want holistic success in all four areas of life. So would you like to find out how handwriting can help you succeed in all four areas of life? Type in A4, which means all four, in the chat window right now. And if you're typing in all four, then I'm going to ask Imran sir a story for every single area of life. So one more story maybe in the area of health. Imran, something crazy which is kind of unbelievable.
I like to mention, a wonderful lady who is again 65-year-old and bedridden because of certain accidents she, met with. Doctors had actually told her, it will take some months for her to get back in action. And I was really sad to hear that 8 months she was actually on the bed, not moving around, and already had given up on herself. I enrolled her into writing graphotherapy. It took a lot of struggle to sit and write. Initially, she had to undergo a lot of resistance and the pain, but eventually she pulled herself up. And the beautiful part was, after 20 days of writing graphotherapy, she comes dressed up onto the video call and says, it's been 8 months that I wore I got really dressed up because I was happy in my night dress because I'm all the time sleeping and things like that. See, stories like this is what makes us drive and work towards it. Because if you ask me, Imran, what's a magic behind it? No, it's not magic, it's a science. Because if you empower your mind to be healthy, your body cannot be diseaseful. Can you see that? You have to catch up with that. And this is the power of this writing. And people who question me, Imran, depression can be cured? Can I really work on it? See, what happens when you have depression? When you go to a psychiatric, the depression is basically cured by giving you antidepressant tablets.
Correct.
The same chemical your brain can generate, because you're eating tablet to stimulate that part of your brain to release that chemical. So what if I tell you, you writing certain letters in your handwriting can stimulate certain part of your brain, which releases the chemical. In turn, it brings in behavioral change. In turn, it brings in the approach towards life. Not only depression, but there's so many chronic changes people are experiencing in their life, and we are able to help them. It's not about we doing doctor's job. The doctors are basically focusing on your body. They're working on it. Amazing. We work on your mind. And when you empower your mind and you're getting treated with your body, when this two comes together, miracle is bound to happen.
Amazing. This is amazing. So, Imran, with your permission, can we give our students a real result? Like, for an example, you spoke about depression. How many people here would like to learn the opposite of depression, which is happiness? Like the secret to happiness? Because Imran sir said, our brain can produce the chemicals to be happy. You don't always need an antidepressant tablet that gives you that happiness hormone or that happiness chemical. So would it be possible for you to show us a shortcut, if that's okay with you? Something that we can write every day and we can just generate happiness with that, so that some of us here can actually start feeling that happiness right now.
Yes, it's possible. I can make it easy for you. All of you need is a pen and a paper. And I'm going to share with you today, not a letter, but a pattern. This pattern is basically called as squiggles. And if you ask me in the simplest language, Imran, what does it do? It will work like glucose in your body. So if you can practice this every single day, especially in the morning, because the idea about writing in the morning is your alpha state of mind is active in the morning. So if you can write one page of the squiggles, and that can change the way you are operating the entire day. You're going to be energetic. You're going to be able to maintain consistency in energy levels, and mind you, consistency in your behavior also, right? Because you always have ups and downs.
So how many of you want happiness and consistency both? Everyone type in the chat window, GMH, give me happiness. Come on, quickly type in GMH, give me happiness. Take a notepad, take a paper, take a pen quickly, because Imran sir is actually going to show you today a result, a specific technique that you can do on paper every single morning. He'll tell you for how long. And if you just do this every single morning, you'll see your happiness hormones go up and you'll actually start feeling that relief every single morning. Your frequency is going to be up and your life is going to be giving you attraction of happy things because you're vibrating in happiness. So let's go. Let's look at what are those happiness hormone chemical producing technique called squiggles. I like the name. Everyone type in S for squiggles in the chat window now. Here we go.
Yeah, this is called squiggles, and you need to make 5 patterns of this, and this is how it starts. Make sure when you write, focus is on your finger movement. So you watch my fingers, how it's actually working on it. See, it's all about writing like this. So it looks like an 8, but it's not numerical 8. It is basically the squiggles. Make sure you have a bigger loop here, and that's how you're done. Normally, it's easy to write because we have a certain lines which we use. So can you see that how you start and how you actually go down and then you write? So this is how you need to be doing. Look at my finger movements there. So these finger movements are basically what is stimulating. It's not the pattern, it's the way you write the pattern which is going to bring in results to you.
Wow, amazing. So how many of you promise to practice squiggles every day for, let's say, how many days, Imran sir, for how many days minimum?
Generally, it's a 21-day practice, any habit to develop, but I've seen results happening in 7 days, 8 days. It is all about how open you are for receiving something new.
So like one full page squiggles every day. One
size.
full page. Everyone type an IP. I promise if you plan to create happiness every single morning, do these squiggles every single morning. And I'm going to now ask Imran sir something which he told me. It's going to blow your mind. So Imran sir does something called at level 3, if I'm not wrong. It's called the IP level course, which is called as the inner physician, right, of graphotherapy. There are different levels in which the level 3 is something I'm like super fond of, because you told me about some things which got me really excited. You said looking at anybody's handwriting, you can actually identify what's wrong in their health, what's wrong in their frequency, what's wrong in their body, without even they showing you their diagnosis report, like blood reports or like scans or any kind of sonography or anything. But you can still detect those issues, which are actually detected either by blood reports or by sonography reports or something like that. You can actually identify that on a handwriting.
Yeah, it's
Please
possible.
give us one example like that.
Because your brain is the powerhouse of everything, right? So that's
how do you see that in handwriting? Give me an example of that, because every time I love it when you give me those examples, and it just drives me crazy. How do you do that? So give me an example where you saw somebody's handwriting and in 1 minute you knew what was going on.
So I'll share the story of a homeopathic doctor happened to see a handwriting sample of his own brother and identified issues related to liver. So there is a one particular style in your handwriting which is not a letter, but the way you form certain connectivity from one letter to the another letter, it ends up showing like a square formation across your handwriting. So the reason I'm explaining you this and not writing and showing it to you, because it's a very typical way of writing. And this square formation basically talks about issues related to the liver. And you'll be surprised, the doctor student of mine asked his brother to go get his analysis done, the medical report done, check done, and he underwent, and he was diagnosed with stage 3, fatty liver. And if he's not going to take care of it liver right now, so it can actually lead to liver cirrhosis, that is an infection in the liver. And this is all possible just by looking at the handwriting. Wow. Because everything gets created in your brain level first, in your thought level first, and that's what the handwriting is showing. And imagine the doctor is acknowledging that, and that's how we look at it. Not only this, Mitesh, we had people who were suffering from migraine for 20 years now, and 8 weeks of practicing graphotherapy was able to get out of migraine.
8 weeks.
I had a student who is, a patient of Parkinson's. And I hope you all know when you have Parkinson's impacted your body, you have muscle stiffness. It impacts the way you speak. It impacts the way you walk and sit. And, it happens with people that actually leads to depression because their speech is not recognized by people around them. So they basically get in a cocoon. And I had a student who practiced graphotherapy. Not only he came out of the depression, not only came out with that cocoon, he started coaching others.
Whoa.
My wonderful moment is when the wife said, Imran, thank you. You came in as a savior, because I saw him sitting in one place, not doing anything. Now today, he has 10 to 12 clients. He meets them, he talks to them, and he inspires them. And today, he has taken on a mission of reaching out to all the Parkinson's community, and he educates them that how it is and doable. And that's a proud moment for me. So that's what handwriting is all about. Yeah.
Amazing. How many of you want to master this kind of a science? Type in mastery in the chat window if you really want to start. See, some people just want to dabble in science, but I am Imran sir, we are people who like so passionate. Once we get into something, like really master it. How many of you want to master it? Type in mastery in the chat window. And as you're thinking of mastering the science, I know you want success in all 4 areas of life. So we've heard a few stories in the area of health. How many of you want to hear a few stories in the area of love and relationships? Type in love in the chat window if you want some love in the air over here. So Imran sir, can it really help us in relationship, like in the way we relate with people? Like for an example, in law of attraction, a lot of people come because they're just not able to attract their life partner, or they have a life partner, but they're not able to create happiness in their relationship. How can handwriting improve our frequency in relationships?
I can give you tons of examples. Especially relationship with the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law, the equations at the home. See, the idea about learning handwriting analysis and working on your own self is to increase your acceptance level. So if you ask me, Imran, how does it really change relationship aspect? Because I have seen people coming to my program with tons
Right.
of resistance to, coexist in the same very home. And they realize this person is actually not what I thought to be, is actually coming from a different background. For example, very funny, very, very smallest possible thing, but a huge impact. I had a lady who is married who came to me saying that, Imran, I think my husband has an extramarital affair because he does not speak much, he's always on his own. And I always wonder, what is he going in his head? I think he is actually not interested in me and he's actually interested in somebody else. Then we actually, she underwent training with me. She happened to analyze her husband's handwriting and she realized the husband belongs to a classification called as an FA slant, where the person actually does not know how to express emotions.
Oh.
Even if he wants to, he tends to withhold his emotions because he finds it irrelevant to show it. And he is somebody who is self-sufficient, that means not dependent on other people. So can you see that he's actually being himself?
Wow.
But the wife actually thought, he's not liking me, or maybe wrong choice of marriage, thing like that. And after she got present to it, then she realized, okay, I have a husband who is more good with actions than words. Okay, bad with expression of emotions, but he has all the possible emotions. The actions part of it. So can you see that in the entire relationship changed? And the husband actually hugged her and did not say much, but there was so much of communication happened with one hug because the husband felt so relieved that now you accepted me exactly the way I am and exactly the way I'm not. And these are the type of stories we hear every single day in our life.
Everyone type in amazing for that. If you say that's amazing, that two people actually got close because they understood each other better because of handwriting. So what I love to say it here is that in law of attraction, we say law of attraction is about making the invisible energy into visible energy, correct? Which means you take the energy around you, which is invisible. But when you materialize that energy, it becomes visible into what you want to achieve in your life as a goal. Handwriting is exactly like this, I believe. Things that she could not see in her husband earlier, they were invisible, but handwriting made it visible on paper. The moment that invisible became visible, suddenly the relationship started improving, understanding improved, acceptance improved. That was amazing. So Imran sir, can you maybe show us, like every time I ask, can you give us a technique on paper? What is the one letter that our audience can practice that can help improve their self-acceptance, their self-love? How many of you would like to improve your self-love? Type in SL, self-love, in the chat window if you want to know what we can do to actually increase that love for ourselves, so that once we vibrate at that frequency, attraction becomes so easy. So maybe Imran sir, if you can show us that technique of self-love.
I have been showing you about handwritings which are being, but right now what is important is, when we talk about our own self, there's one behavior which we have, which is basically called as a selective listening. The way you think about your own self has to be changed. The way you think about other people has to be changed. And this is one letter which will reduce your anxiety and actually develop, the patience levels which you have with your self. That is more important. And that is the letter E in your handwriting. So the letter E is very, very powerful letter in your writing because, I can give you...
Take a notepad, take a pen, everyone get ready. He's showing you a paper, come on.
So I can give you tons of letters to work on because I know my favorite letter is letter T. Even if you ask me today, what would be the one letter if I can change in my handwriting, I'll definitely go back to the letter T. But today I'm going to share with you, your E should have a very, very good loop. Most of us write our E with a retrace loop like this. Like the loop is actually getting filled. So if I'm writing the word T, can you see I don't have a loop in my T, in a loop in my E. So you need to be developing a loop in your E just like this. So next time when you write, make sure you write good loop in your E. This will reduce a lot of your stress, anxiety, calmness, and the way you will start paying attention to your own thoughts, conversation will take a huge, different shift. And I normally don't share this, but I'm sharing this because Mitesh asked for it, and this is one letter which can actually change a lot of things for you.
Wow. So you're saying that loop has to be not closed but open.
Yes.
It should be not filled but open. For how many of you on YouTube channel, can you type in the chat window, is your loop filled or is your loop open? So type in F for filled or type in O for filled if it, or O for open if it is open. Yeah, go ahead, Amran sir. You were saying if it's open, what happens? Can you explain that again?
So normally the E has to have a loop, but the problem is most of us actually write it like that. So if I'm writing T,
Ah,
it becomes like this. So now you're supposed to actually write it with a loop inside like this. So
oh.
it takes some efforts, but you do it. And trust me, practice this for 7 days and get back to me. And that will really change. Your anxiety level will come down. The way you start looking at yourself, the internal conversation you have about your own self will take a huge shift.
So if you could show us like 5 times E if you write with our audience so that they can understand how to practice this every day. E. So we don't separate 5 E's. We just keep writing E's as a kind of a straight stroke.
Yes, that's what we have as a part of our training material, where we actually send across different patterns for you to write. And this is one of the activities we want you to do it, because if you can work on this, that will change a lot of things for you.
Amazing. So I want all of you to know, by the way, that when we join handwriting course, we actually get this physical material. Am I right, Imran sir? And you courier this to us, right? This is crazy. Like I've never, in the digital world, I've never heard of people who are sending courier of physical material just so that you can get more results. Everyone type in amazing in the chat window if you say that's amazing. That in the digital world also, he's sending us physical material so he makes sure that we get results. Amazing. But the question is, he's shown us the E. Question is, are you going to practice it? Type in IP. I promise that you're really, really, really going to practice this. Now, are we saying that this one letter E is enough to change your entire life? No, I would be lying if I would say that, because I know there is so much more to learn about handwriting. And all the stories that Imran sir has shared about us today are not people who've simply changed one E, not simply changed one letter, but they've literally changed their entire handwriting and the strokes. And I remember what Imran, you say again and again, that it's not the letters that change your life, but if you can complete that.
Yeah, it's the way you write that letter. So it's not the letter E, but the way you write that letter. It's the way your finger moves. Yeah. So I was reading some of the messages. I was looking at that. Somebody talked about, yes, in south of India, we actually draw those as a rangoli, which I showed you as a squiggles. Very true. And not only that, the way we use our rudraksh, tasbih, and the prayers, it's basically the movement of your fingers, the index and the thumb. This is where the magic is. So we are associating this finger movements to the stroke formation, which you're actually writing there. So that's how it really works.
Wow, amazing. So if you could give us an example now in the area of career and money, how many of you want a lot of career and money? Everyone type in CM in the chat window. If you want success in your career, right to success in your career and right to success to money, type in CM in the chat window. Because I heard some amazing stories in today's class that you were doing for the inner circle. I remember for the level 4 students of yours about somebody who made, and the reason I'm asking is because I was sitting on the bed here and Indu was sitting here on the laptop listening to you. And I overheard some person making a few lakhs. I don't know who it was. Was it Navinji? No.
Navin Sharma.
Navinji? Yeah, Navin Sharma ji. So can you share what was that exactly?
So what happens is when people come into handwriting analysis world, they start focusing on themselves and they start supporting other people around them. In the process, they start coaching people. And if you're really looking at establishing your identity as a coach, as a facilitator, join us, because this is what Navinji does. He has a full-time job, is highly dedicated, amazing designation he has, and the rapport in his work and everything is fine. But apart from this, he takes some time out of his life and he starts coaching people, giving graphotherapy. What I showed you right now, the process of changing your handwriting is called graphotherapy. So he gives coaching on graphotherapy. Right. And he just came and said, Imran, it's been a couple of months now. I never saw into my bank account because I had maintained a separate bank account into what I charge for people for doing analysis and also graphotherapy. And today he compiled it and it came to 2.61 lakh rupees. And he was really amazed because whatever he had invested in the program, he got multiple times back out of it. And more than the money, he shared that is the contentment of actually adding value to people's life, like how I'm able to add a difference in people's life. I was doing a government job and was happily doing that. But apart from that, I'm able to add value to people's life. And that was more beautiful. And that's why if you're looking at new identity, new designation for yourself, or enhancing your existing career, I think you should learn handwriting analysis.
Wow. How many of you want an extra source of income? Type in extra. And not just extra source of income, but I think a source of income which gives you these blessings, because you're able to see things magically. Like I'm in the world of magic of law of attraction, and I love to see things in the world which most people cannot see. Like I have the power today. I can talk to people for 5 minutes and I can understand their feelings, their thoughts, their beliefs, how they're going to act. I always say, give me 5 minutes of your time and I can predict your past, your present. And if you don't change your frequency, I can even predict your future. And I had never met anybody who can do almost as kind of work as I do. I'm not boasting about myself. Actually, I am boasting about myself. Am I not? Okay. So I'm boasting about myself, but it's true. I have that kind of ability that I've developed over a period of years. My wife is smiling over here, thinking again he's boasting, but I have that kind of ability. And after me, I was really impressed with Imran sir because he has this ability which he's developed, and the best part is he's transferred this ability. One of the things I love about myself is I don't just have these abilities, I like to transfer these abilities to people. I just like to give away saying, I'm not special, law of attraction is special. And after me, I met Imran sir who said, I'm not special. Graphotherapy is special, handwriting is special. And I remember, Imran, you said when you could just look at a person's signature and you can literally in 2 minutes, you can predict probably like 120 or was it 128 characteristics of a human being? What is that?
128 traits. Traits
128 traits.
Your behavior, which has become your identity. Yes.
Wow. And I remember recently you went to a session, I'm not going to give details here, where I remember Tanmay Bhatt himself, who's the comedian, was there. And you generally just spoke about handwriting. And he said, I'm interested, like, I'm going to show you my handwriting.
Yeah, he said, it's super fun. I love what you're doing. I want to get my handwriting analyzed. So that's what he said here.
Yeah. How many of you want to be this kind of a magician where people see handwriting, you see magic? Where people see only handwriting, you will be able to see people's 128 traits of their behaviors. So before I can really invite Imran sir to give us the opportunity to actually join this course, how many of you are okay if we can ask Imran sir to show us something about our handwriting that you can predict right now in your handwriting, which can give you at least 1 or 2 traits that you can identify right now. If you want that secret, type in secret in the chat window now, because only if you're typing the word secret are we getting this information out of Imran sir. As you know, most of the videos that you've seen, he doesn't give away all the secrets right here in the webinar. But today I've requested him to give away a little bit of secret. So all of you type in secret in the chat window. Let's put some pressure on Imran sir to give us some secret out here. Yes, Imran sir, what is it that you can see in the handwriting, or maybe I can see in my handwriting or signature that can show me 1 or 2 traits of my life or my behavior?
Yeah, let's go to signatures quickly, because today we talked about the letters. I gave away your E and also the other letters like squiggles. So if you're looking at your signature, I always appreciate you having your full name in your signature, because everything starts from you. So right now I'm talking about a particular signature where your plan B is more stronger than a plan A. So look into your life. Are you experiencing this? You want to start a business. You are really keen on starting this, but even before you get on to the journey of starting a business, deep down inside, you already have a plan B. Imran, if business nahi karega na, I will go back to my job. I have my options open. So similarly, you want to take a competitive exam. If it is not working, you're okay going back to your family business. So can you see that your plan B is stronger than your plan A? And this is what happens, and your identity is under question. So this is about the people. For example, normally I sign my signature as Imran Beg. So I'm just going to show you on the screen.
Come on, everyone, take your notepads, write quickly, sign your own signature on your paper so that you can validate what he's showing you.
This is how I normally sign. So now I'm talking about people who, instead of writing the full name, they actually write just the initial of their first name and the full surname. So if your name is Pooja Sharma, so what you normally do is you actually write P Sharma. So can you see that? You just write P Sharma. So you're basically a person who is actually just writing your name and the family name follows. This could be a spouse name, it could be a family name, it could be a father's name. Wow. So these are the people whose plan B is stronger than a plan A. And these people are also suffering from identity crisis, because you want to do something on your own, you want to get out of the shadow of your family, create your new identity, but sometimes it's overpowers you, overshadows, like you're still known by, wo falane ghar ke beti hai, you're, that home, you belong to that family or that particular thing. So that's how it is. So this is about this. So this is where you don't write. So my sincere invitation is, if it's your signature, your name has to be there. So that's
your full name. Your first full name has to be there.
Yes, please.
Oh, not just a abbreviation, not P only, but the whole word Pooja.
Write your full name. How many of you see this and you're able to relate to this? Type in relate on the chat box.
Type in relate if you can relate with this, guys, that if you have only your first name as your first letter and the last name as the full name, and you're experiencing that, you make plans and you always feel that ye nahi kaam kiya to wo kar lunga. And what he's saying is that the last name is bigger. So the plan B is bigger than the plan A. Are you experiencing the type in R? So Imran, are you also saying that people who type, sign as, let's say, the first full name and the last name is only 1 letter, then ulta?
So ulta, if you're doing it. So if you're doing ulta, so it basically talks about, okay, let me show you what Mitesh said. So Mitesh is saying, So if my name is Imran Beg, so instead of writing Imran Beg, what I'm doing is I'm just writing Imran B, right? So that's what you meant. So I'm just writing Imran B. So I'm not writing my full name there. So this basically talks about my relationship with my surname. It could be my spouse, it could be my father's name or the family name I'm talking about. So this basically talks about resentment, resolved communications, somewhere the feeling of you being superior to your family. So the idea is, Imran, my family never understands what I say. वो कभी समझेंगे नहीं. That's why you moved out of your family, you moved out of your city, you went on to create your new identity. There's so many things which you decided on your own without having their enrollment into it, because you always come from the bracket saying that they're not understanding Imran. उनकी सोच अलग है, मेरी सोच अलग है. I'm not really able to connect with them. पापा कभी समझते नहीं है मुझे, क्या चाहिए. So this is what is happening, because to be very honest, Mitesh, I always tell this to people. If you're adding something to your name, give full justice to that name by writing it full rather than just writing initial. But the moment I make this statement, people always say, oh, Imran, signature bada ho jaye. They say, who's stopping you from creating your own space onto the paper? Right? Look at the mindset. Look at the mindset which you're coming from. Like, now, why are you discounting your own self? Like, why? You can demand your own. Have you not seen Amitabh Bachchan signing his signature? It's the entire check in the Kaun Banega Crorepati episode, right? So he did not say, okay, I'll just write AB there. No.
So what you're saying is, if the person writes the first full name and last letter, then that person may not have the trait which you said earlier, which is, in that person's case, the plan A will be the plan A. It's not like plan B is going to be bigger than the plan A. Is that what you're saying? And they feel that because, I'm sorry, I'm stopping you there, but you're saying that because they feel my family don't understand me, they may move out of their family and do things on their own. Yeah, you were explaining that.
I was just coming to the same point. Yes, you got me right. Yes.
Wow, I'll tell you why I was asking that, and I was insisting on completing that. That's my signature.
Okay, I did do this about you.
That's crazy. That's my I always write Mitesh as Mitesh and then K, and I bring that stroke back. And I realized that I remember many years ago when I was in Wipro doing a job, and I had left that job and I had started my this coaching business for the first time, corporate training business. And when I left from there, my plan A was so strong that I had told my company, I don't want my experience certificate. And my HR company, they called me, the lady, she called me later and she said, Mitesh, please come, take your experience certificate. In case your business doesn't work, you will need the certificate, if not in another company, at least in our own company. But if you don't have the certificate, we will not have the proof that you worked here and you will not get another job. And believe it or not, I think now when I look back, that was arrogant, but I actually told her, no, I know I'm going to succeed. I don't want a job. I never want to come back to a job. And it's so true that my plan A was stronger, but it is also true what you say. I always felt that my parents don't understand me or my vision. And that is why at a very early age, I left home, because I thought in my environment, I will not be able to grow. I need to find my own environment. And I left my house and I started growing outside. Wow, this is perfect. How many of you can relate with that? Type in R for relate. If you could probably relate with the first type of the signature or the second type of the signature, I'm blown away. Like, this is the kind of things that you can identify just by a signature. Imagine what Imran sir can identify in an entire paper, right? It's absolutely crazy. So how many of you really want to know what is this crazy magic? How can we learn it? And do you want the opportunity to be part of this magical world and become a magician? Type in yes in the chat window if you are really, really committed to become a magician. Because if you don't say yes, your subconscious never gives us the permission to talk to you. Your subconscious doesn't give you the permission to receive the information, even if it is right in front of you. So type that yes in the chat window if you really want to be that kind of a magician. I know I'm 100% clear. I'm yes for that. And as we are saying that yes, Imran sir, if you could probably help us start with, what are the different levels? Because I remember when I came in, I thought, what is it, graphology? So maybe just learn about a little bit about handwriting or signature and I'm done. But is it as simple as that? Or are there a few levels? Like in law of attraction, we have 4 or 5 levels.
Yeah, I definitely invite you to consider, because I want you to start learning this as a skill. And the best way to master a skill is to get deeper insight into this. So I want you to really come into the world of handwriting analysis with a clear intention of working on your own self. And in the process, there will be things opening up for you. And one thing I like to promise you is, I don't just want to teach you handwriting analysis. I want you to become a handwriting analyst. And we will do all that what is required to give you a right platform and a launch pad to launch yourself as a professional handwriting analyst. So just to give you a little journey into it, you can actually start with me right now with a program which I call this as the first step
So
program.
Imran, just stop that screen for 1 second. Okay, everyone, before I before Imran sir shows you those 4 levels. Okay, first of all, how many people really want to create amazing results in your health? Type in I in the chat window or type in H in the chat window. Imran sir, I'm asking you some very straight questions on behalf of my audience over here, which is your community as much. Can these people, once they start learning this handwriting and change their handwriting, change other people's handwriting, is it really possible to improve their health frequency? Yes or no?
Definitely yes. No,
Definitely yes. They can identify themselves, like what's wrong in their body, what's wrong in other people's body, and they can improve that using handwriting. I
and
know
that's
it's possible because Indu's done it with herself. This is the first time she doesn't have an allergy during monsoon season just because of your handwriting.
thank you.
So yes, so that's a yes.
Yeah, that's a definitely yes.
Perfect. Second, relationships. Some of them want to get married. Some of them have a marriage, but they're not happy in their marriage, or they're not getting along with their boss, their parents, or they're not even having a great self-esteem with themselves, which means their relationship with themselves. Can they improve their relationship with handwriting
Yeah,
on paper?
they're just one stroke away from having an amazing magical relationship, and that's what it is. It's possible.
Amazing. Career and money. Can they attract what they want? Like, can they get their job? Can they improve their business? Can they start making more money because of what they change in their handwriting, because of what they change in other people's handwriting?
Yes, possible, because the biggest thing you're going to be undoing about yourself is developing more authenticity in your frequency, because this is what people connect with you. And that's what we have seen. People getting amazing jobs, the way they connect with people, the way they getting promotions, I know unexpected money coming in, because you actually up your frequency and you come from the space of authenticity.
Wow. So how many of you are ready to get all these HRCM results? I'll tell you why I love talking about handwriting with Imran sir more than anything. It's one of those things wherein the subjective world brings objectivity. Let me explain what I mean by that. Subjective means we don't know what's happening. Objective means we know exactly what's happening. In handwriting, you can see your handwriting today, and then after 10 or 15 days of handwriting therapy, which is graphotherapy as we call it, you can feel the difference and you can start seeing things happening in your family, in your health, in your relationship, in your career, based on all the stories that we've told you. So are you now excited to actually see what is this level 1 course? Type in E for excited in the chat window. I wanted to bring that excitement to you by getting that commitment from Imran sir and from me that yes, you can literally get results in your life in all 4 areas of life. Yes, Imran sir, what's the level 1 that we can start with?
Yeah, the level 1 is all about you. So imagine you're learning to swim. So when you're learning to swim, the first person who's going to get benefited is you, because you're going to learn to swim. That means you can experience the water. You can actually, be able to learn a new skill where you can actually experience water and save yourself from drowning. So that means that's level 1. So if I can connect that with my program, I normally don't call this as a level 1, but this is where everything gets started. So the name of the program is the first step towards your journey into handwriting analysis. So come do this program, and if your focus is only you, this is the program for you.
Amazing. So what really happens in level 1? This is where we get the physical kit, right? Or that's what I'm excited to show people.
Yes. So what happens in level 1 is you get an amazingly beautiful design, material. So you're going to get this physical course material. So let me quickly show you this. So this is a beautiful box which will be sent across to you. And this entire box is designed keeping you, yes, you in mind, because when you open up this material, we're going to start with as simple as giving you an insight into what type of pen you should be using. So we're going to send you a stationery. We have a welcome letter for you, which will give you a little insight into everything. My personal favorite book is the book which will give you more than 40 different things about your own self. So this is the magic book where you can explore 40 different information about yourself, starting from the way you think, how you make decisions, how you learn and process any information, going to the relationship aspect, how you relate to people around you, what is your trust quotient, what are your limitations, what is your block, and then we're going to go to your fears and defenses. Why have you developed certain things to counter the fears which you are safeguarding, using your temper, using your sarcasm, using your ability to deceive not only yourself, but also people around you. Because remember, we actually use this something called as, jhuta dilasa dena, like you're lying to your own self And just to make you know, and saying it's a positive thinking. So we're going to be unfolding that here in this conversation.
Right. So this is what our wives do with us. Jhuti dilasa sometimes when they make us happy, right? This is the part. Indu, you should do this part of graphotherapy. Okay, I'm just kidding. Yeah, going to the strengths part.
Yeah, this is something my personal favorite section, because Almighty has blessed us with amazing, beautiful abilities. I want you to understand from your handwriting what comes to you effortlessly. What is that which you made up of? Like, what could you be standing and creating for yourself? And definitely there are 6 things which you should not have in your handwriting and your signature. We're going to be discussing this as part of the 6 areas of improvement. So this is the first book which you're going to get.
Wow.
This is the main course material. And the best part is I'll help you understand every single behavior of yours. And I'm going to help you analyze your own handwriting. So the next book is, I want you to write every single day 1 page. And this is where the magic happens. Trust me when I say this, people don't even have to undergo medical tests and everything. I've seen people who didn't even realize how, but they reduce their diabetic, injections, insulin intake, BP tablets, migraine, and everything. And it's just that about practicing every single day 1 page. And not only on the health aspect, the behavioral aspect, the frequency aspect, the relationship aspect. Everything happened here. I just had one person who was sharing with me that, and Imran, my examination went went very, very well, because the way I operated this time was completely different.
Wow.
So can you do that? All these things. So every single day. So you need to write every day 1 page.
Wow.
And the best part about this program, Mitesh ji, is that every person who joins the program today, they will be assigned a senior master practitioner of graphology who will be supporting them in writing this graphotherapy. And they will be personally checking this writing of this, which they will be sharing with us over the WhatsApp picture.
Wow.
And we have a beautiful system. My job is, once you get into our community, you are taken care by us. So the way we will be we will be executing every single thing is, and look at that. Every single day you're going to be writing, take pictures, send it to your facilitator, and the facilitator will help you what can be improved in the coming day. So this is the book number 2. So
hold on. What you're saying is each person who's joining today will get a personal facilitator who's your master practitioner already. And when they finish writing, they will take a photograph on WhatsApp, send it to your master practitioner, and they will check whether it's right or wrong.
Yes.
That's crazy. How many of you think that's next level of customer service?
That is a level 1 program. And then I have tons of information. I'm going to open up every single book and show it to you. But the idea here is that I'm here. Reason we are showing all these things is because to show you the amount of information, not only information, but applied knowledge is what you're going to be getting as part of the program. And you also get a live access to me. I want to be there personally, supporting you in understanding your own self. So if it is okay with you, I will invite you. You can watch the recorded programs. You can learn on this one. But let's do this live. Let's experience live. Let's experience learning in a new way altogether. And all this material will be sent across to you. And
how many of you are ready to be live, by the way? Type in live in the chat window if you want to actually attend this live. You will get the recorded course, but which you can start tonight, by the way. But would you love to be live? Type in live in the chat window if you're going to meet us live for this course. So that's all, level 1. That's it.
Yeah. So after you finish this, you get an e-certificate and you're good to go. So the focus is you. Yeah.
Amazing. So after level 1, there's level 2, 3, and 4.
Yes. So now let's take you to the next level, which is my personal favorite. I definitely wanted to take up this as a professional handwriting analyst because I believe the world needs you. If you can learn a skill which can help others and it can add value. Remember, you learn swimming for your own self. Now, if you know how to swim, you can actually save others also.
Wow.
So that's the way you need to look at this. And if you become a professional handwriting analyst, all you need to do is complete my level 1 and undergo the 6 classes with me. And I will help you to establish your identity as a handwriting analyst.
Is this the level 2 which Naveenji went through where he made 2.6 lakhs?
Yes.
Oh, the second level, that's it?
Yeah.
The second level, he made 2.6 lakhs?
Yes. So
wow.
You will be inducted in a council of graphologists. So this is personally hosted by me. And I'm really looking at bringing all the world's best graphologists under one umbrella, who speak our language, who speak our commitment. It's very important. And you'll be receiving a physical certificate just like these people if you do my level 2 program. And if you can't come to Bangalore, we can send it to you, physical certificate. And all these people you see on this, all these people are the professional handwriting analysts. We will be listing you in our website. And every time, imagine if this is you, Poojaji, and if you click on Poojaji's profile, you get to see who Poojaji is, what is her mission as a handwriting analyst, and what is the type of results she has created in people's life. And all this is possible if you just take level 2 program.
This is really crazy. So how many of you want to be on that website very soon as one of the international graphologists in the world on this international council? Type in I in the chat window if you want to be part of that. He literally puts you on this website, gives you a web page, but that's at level 2. Now, I know this is an expensive course, but is there any special deal that we have for the level 1 for people so that eventually we can go to level 2?
Yes, definitely. So let's invite them to start the journey with level 1, Mitesh, and let's give away the offer which we're looking at. So normally I do this program on a different price. So Mitesh, do you suggest we give away the price?
Yeah, please.
So normally the program which I'm offering, which has a physical course material, live access to me, and you also get an e-certificate. And my promise to you is the way the level 1 program is designed, you will be with me in a weekend. And by the time you finish the weekend program, you're going to go back home as a handwriting analyst. That's my promise to you. That's my promise to you.
So you're saying the third day when they finish the program, they will be able to analyze handwriting of their friends, their family, or themselves. Like anything that is written, they'll be able to see 10 times more than just the strokes.
Yeah.
Crazy. How many of you are ready to become magicians in 3 days? Type in 3 days in the chat window if you're ready to become magicians.
That's my promise. That's my promise to them. Yeah.
Amazing. So what's the offer? What are we looking at?
So the offer is I normally charge 9,999, which includes the fees, the material, the live access to me, and tons of bonuses. I'm going to give away complete detailed information on signature analysis. I'm going to give away complete details on, let me show you the bonuses. And, it's actually, the program fees is actually 58,000 rupees, but I'm willing to give it to you for 9,900 because there's tons of bonuses which I can add up to it. But Mitesh, can we reduce it further? Can we give it to them as a better price?
How many of you want a little better offer? Type in BF in the chat window. That's not for boyfriend. That's for better offer. Come on, quickly. Everyone type in better offer if you want a little better offer there in the chat window. And let's see what do we have there.
So you have to just pay us 5,900 rupees, which is inclusive of all the GST and the material. Wow. Don't ask us how we can do this, but it is for you. The link is on your chat box. Go ahead, click, join us. This complete physical course material and everything which we discussed. And let me just show you the type of bonus which you're going to get. Just being here today, I'm going to give you a little more insight into this. So Mitesh, so with your permission, let me show them the offer of what all is included in the program. And this is my personal favorite where you get to know every single aspect of it. Okay, so let's do this.
So by the way, for all of you, this is the link in the screen and there's a link in your YouTube chat window as well. But what you're getting is really crazy. Like for 5,900, he's talking about giving you a personal trainer. He's talking about not just giving you a personal trainer, but someone who will check your handwriting on a regular basis, someone who's going to push you to make sure that you do your homework. And he's going to send you physical material at home. What else is included? Let's look at the screen there.
So you're going to get the physical course material. So everybody make a note of it. Physical course material included. Number 2, you're going to attend a live training program with me. The schedule and the date will be shared with you. And don't worry, you get a choice in the matter. You can choose which works for you, and then you can be there for the day. Number 3, you get access to all my recordings for life. So not only the current program I'm doing, even my previous sessions, you're welcome to have an access to it, and you get a live access to that. And then after you finish the weekend program with me, you're still connected with me. We will be meeting every Thursday live, not only discussing handwriting, but human behavior, every possible dimension of your existence so that we can enhance your productivity in every area of your life. And 21 days of graphotherapy book included with personal coaching. And you're going to get tons of information on signature. I just gave you 2 signatures today. There are tons of information, more than 10 different varieties of signature and multiple interpretations. You're going to get access to that. And yes, pen stories is my personal favorite. Everybody look at your pen. How to choose a right pen? What is the science behind choosing the right pen? Which is better pen for you? What should be the grip? How you should be sitting? What should be the distance? And all of you who are always on the computer, this is the right way to get you started. And it is included in this program. And I'm going to be teaching you hand exercises, which is going to be a beautiful way of developing the sync between the body and your mind. And yes, the list continues. For 5,900 rupees, you get a facilitator who's supporting you in writing your graphotherapy, and you will be receiving a personal handwriting analysis report of your own handwriting. Oh my God. Yeah. Can you see that? The type
Wow.
of bonuses.
Did you say personal handwriting analysis report?
Yes. So every participant gets to know what is his dimension of his personality, what is his base of the personality, what are your thinking patterns and defenses. All this will be sent to you.
Wow. Amazing. Good stuff. So, how many of you are ready? Type in R for ready in the chat window if you've already started attending this session. We will see you, of course, inside that recording program immediately after you join. But the best part is that Imran sir will also meet you live. Maybe Imran sir, you can tell us when is the next live batch date?
The good news is we are doing the live program this weekend. So we're going to meet you
Saturday?
on Friday. Yeah. So we're going to meet you on Friday evening. We are starting from 7 o'clock in the evening, and it will go on till 9:30 in the evening on Friday.
Wow.
And don't worry about making note of it. The moment you sign up, you will receive an WhatsApp, which will have all these details. And Saturday, again, I'll meet you in the evening. You don't need to be there with me entire day, 7 o'clock to 9:30. And Sunday is where I want you to plan and be with me entire day. Don't worry, we'll have multiple breaks and beautifully designed activities. And the program gets over at 6:30, but you will become a handwriting analyst at 5 o'clock. So that's my promise. And if you're not able to attend this weekend program, no stress. Sign up today, receive the physical material, start your graphotherapy, plan your next live session with me the following week. It still works.
Perfect. So with that, we've come to the closure today, but I don't think this is the closure. I think this is the beginning of something great. All of you type in G for great in the chat window. If this is the beginning of something great in your life as a multiple source of income to raise your vibrations, to see in the world what is invisible, you can now see it with your eyes. You will have the magical powers to see frequency in you, which is hidden, frequency in other people, which is hidden, and that too on handwriting. And once you change that on paper, you can actually see those changes happening in your life. I have seen that happening. Indu has seen that happening. Imran, his students, we've all seen that happening thousands of times. Now it's your turn to make that transformation happen. So before we go, Imran, if you had to tell us this one big story about anybody who recently joined the first step and what result they got, what is that one big story that you can share with us?
One of the stories which is very special to me is, people recreating a relationship with their own self. The beautiful part is people realize they have not been paying much attention to themselves. They don't love themselves. They are not the priority in their own life. The person who you come into the program, I see the way you're struggling. You're not able to say no to people. You're not able to back yourself up. You're not able to stand by your own decisions. Right. Based on the outcome which you have. I see you struggling. And the best part about the entire program is when I see you walk out of the program, you are a different person altogether. And the best part is not only you realize that people around you also see the transformation happening. And remember, everything starts from you. So the one beautiful story which happened was there was a girl who came in, who was a student, who was really struggling and not really sure about the relationship she shares with the parents, not sure about the career aspect of it, and a lot of uncertainty. And that was actually impacting her health also. Wow. So just the level 1 program, she sat through it dedicatedly, the level of intensity she brought into the practice. And after the weekend program got over, 15 days of writing graphotherapy, and now she has a complete clear pathway of her career. She started applying for the job. Wow. She's creating results for her own self. And now she is also a professional handwriting analyst, coaching others into creating wonderful results. So this is what is possible when you come with uncertainty, but you go back with an action plan. So that's a beautiful part about the story.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Imran sir. Everyone, please type in thank you in the chat window for Imran sir spending so much time with us in spite of his busy schedule. And here is the best part. He's actually giving away this course at a fees, 5,900. If you divide that by 30 days, how much is that? I'm going to calculate that right now.
Why only 30 days? You are going to be there for life. You're learning a skill for life. You're going to be learning
actually
with time. Yeah. So,
but if you had to even divide this by 30 days, it's 200 rupees per day. If you divide it by 60 days, it is just 100 rupees per day. And the best part is Imran sir is not with you for 60 days. Now he's with you forever, which means that you can attend him every batch live again and again. And the course material remains with you live. The physical material comes to you live. I mean, if this is not support, what is support? Everyone type in AS, amazing support in the chat window if you agree. This is amazing support. From the moment you join, You get a personal facilitator, you get regular accountability, you start getting a physical material for yourself, you get lifetime recordings option, you actually get lifetime access to his live sessions, which is the Friday, Saturday, Sunday batch. You can attend it again and again. And the best part is he meets you weekly, Wednesday, for more weekly live sessions for Q&A. That's crazy. And then in spite of that, you're getting all those bonus lessons. Remember the signature analysis course, how to hold a pen, all of those bonuses. That in itself is crazy. Now, if you look at all of this, I think with lifetime access to Imran sir in this kind of magical practice, what you're really taking away the most is not all these course material, but your ability to be a magician, to change something in you and change something in other people, and that is the frequency. And proof is in the handwriting. Once you get the proof, nobody can deny that you changed your frequency, because not only will it change in your handwriting, it'll actually show up in your life. Right? I think I can definitely guarantee for that. What do you say, Imran sir?
Yeah, definitely. I stand by you. I second that. And start your journey. And I always tell this to all my students: you decide how long you're going to be associated with me, because I'm not going to say ever bye, because the commitment is for life. Because any skill which you learn, it has to be a life-changing experience. And let's be together and see the life evolving every single step of yours.
Amazing. So those of you who've joined in, congratulations. Welcome to the family. Since we are on YouTube live right now, I'm not going to be able to go back to my system and check all of those people who joined, but congratulations. Welcome to the family. We will see you soon, not only in the recorded course, but in the live session, hopefully this Saturday. In case you're not able to join in this Saturday, don't worry. From Imran sir's team, a facilitator will keep in touch with you. They'll show you the next batch time. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night. Keep creating magical results in your life. Become a magician who's able to see what is missing in the world. You can see it. What is invisible in the world, you can see it, and then you can even materialize it with a master like Imran sir. Imran, once again, thank you very much for giving us time. Looking forward to see you next time with a little more detailed Q&A on graphotherapy. How many of you would love that? Type in love that in the chat window, and also type in thank you to Imran sir one more time. Thank you, Imran. See you soon in the next live session. Bye, everyone. Good night. Thank you. Love you too.